Hey, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving our praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Baha, Bakar Kadash, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Bakar Kadash, Barakatham, double honor to apostles who are elders who rule well, which are of GMS, and blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. This lesson I wanted to do is just, GMS, S&E. I don't know, I couldn't think about it. Self-evaluation. Just going into brothers within the truth, sisters that are following the truth. Let's see here. I'm kind of tied up. I got my phone. I got my sword. So, as the scriptures say, you got to know how to abound. You got to know how to abase. Okay. To abase is synonymous with being, humble. Abounding is, confidence, and you have to know when to project yourself, and you got to know when to accept projection or let somebody else light shine. Well, in this particular scripture, this is really going over, letting your light shine and being confident in what you have to offer, because everybody has something to offer within this ministry. Specifically men, even the women, because the Lord don't call you if you don't have nothing to offer. Going back to when they was fighting in the war, and the Lord told them, to take the ones that lap like dogs, and put the other ones away. So with that being said, the point of that is the fact that the Lord don't deal with numbers. So you can't just be a show up nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pop up and say I was there like Pops on Boondocks. You got to actually be accountable, be of use within the Most High's agenda, okay? And you have to have confidence that you're called, the fact that you're called, that you have that said very thing to offer. Your ability, as the scriptures say, neglect not the gift that is in thee. You may have, I believe that's what I'm going to get actually. Yep. This is in verse 14. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse, I'm going to start at 12 through 16. Matter of fact, let's get it. It says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Okay, so once you go into that word youth, it says, this Greek word was applied to men 40 years of age and younger to help prevent some despising his youth. Timothy is to be an example for believers in the areas of word, of conversation, which is conduct, charity, the love for these, treating him well and ill, spirit, proper attitude, faith, trust. Spirit is your proper attitude, faith, trusting in the Most High, good and bad times, and in purity, sexual purity, and integrity of life. So we're when you talk about purity, when it says sexual purity, but the main part I want to go on is an integrity of life. We have to have a good rapport, you know what I'm saying? But, within our youth, the Lord calls young men, and you don't want to waste your years just being a bump on the log. You don't want to waste your years being too over much humble to the point you don't project yourself and put something on the table that you have to offer, because just like with the men with the talents, and they say, oh, I know that was a hard man, and that's why I hid my talent, and he called him a lazy servant, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much he didn't get to reap the rewards. So just because you're in the door don't mean you get to let your foot off the gas, don't mean you don't take chances. Okay, so as a young man, young men are full of energy, ready to go, and you got to utilize that. Okay. It says, verse 13, it says, till I come, give attendance to reading, exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, which the laying on of hands of the prosperity. So the Lord imparts us with gifts. If you are in the camp, if you're in the ministry in some type of way, you have something to offer. If you that guy in the room just waiting on somebody to tell you to do something, to do it, you pretty much you're being selfish, you're being, negligent. You got to have confidence in who you are and why the Lord called you, and you have to be willing to take a chance to project yourself. And hopefully this is encouraging, as partially harsh as it comes across, you still have to be able to, process what I'm saying into a good light. Okay. It says, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. So yeah, if you don't meditate on what you do, such as within the ministry or blessings, even so, in fact, I don't know if I have the book with me. I think I do. Yeah, I got it. Let's see here. This is something I was reading earlier. We was just sharing it with each other. In the book, as brothers, I shared this book with brothers a couple times. The Marcus Aurelius, and see here. So it says that there are three kinds of men in this world. The first, when he helps someone out, makes it known that he expects something in return. The second would never be so bold, but in his mind he knows what he has done and considers the other person to be in his debt. The third somehow doesn't realize what he has done, but he is like a vine that bears fruit and asks for nothing more than the pleasure of producing grapes, right? A horse gallops, a dog hunts, a bee makes honey. One man helps another, and the vine bears fruit in due season. You ought to be like the third fellow, who does good without giving it a second thought. What are men to be numbered with the lower forms of life that act and are acted upon without awareness? Aren't you always saying that man is a rational animal, and isn't it the mark of a rational animal to realize when he is acting socially, and to hope by the Most High, or to say by God, that his neighbor appreciates it? So it doesn't. One part I like is when it says, don't a rational animal know pretty much when to do good for somebody when it's needed? As the scripture said, talking about brute beasts made to be taken away, people that just don't have no morals, no tendencies, no virtue, no nothing, that goes synonymous with a brute beast. You pretty much, I'm hungry, I eat the food in front of me. You're not considering if it's somebody else's food. You're not considering somebody's hungry. You're just a brute beast. You're just reacting to everything. That's one thing that the Lord imparted on us is ration, the ability to use rationale. Ability of a spiritual sense, and this ability to speak. Okay, so we got the ability to pretty much figure things out, make a decision, make things better, and do all that. So you mean to tell me that, as a man of the Lord, that you don't have the ability to use reason, to use understanding? Are you a brute beast? Are we brute beasts? We are not brute beasts. So let's not act like you have nothing to offer. Act like you don't have a gift. Or else, if you don't have a gift to present to the ministry or to the congregation, that means you're not fit to be in a congregation. That's just very simple. So with that being said, we're here. Find out the gift that you have, neglect not that gift, and project it, refine it, make it better, okay? And then increase in other areas that you may lack in, okay? Last verse 16, it says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So we specifically this passage is talking about investing in a doctrine and investing and projecting what you have to offer to the ministry in order to help everybody else grow. If you really care for the ministry, you're gonna express yourself. You're gonna share the things you've seen, share the things you came across, give things that are profitable or you figure that's profitable to someone else. Only reason why you're afraid to give what is profitable is because you think it has no value. All right. And that's just all in the mind. And sometimes you just really don't have things of value, which of course means you ain't putting forth the energy, as it says in verse 15, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. So you gotta cultivate your gift. You can't just sit on it. You can't just be ashamed or be scared to show it. It's uncultivated gift is gonna rot away, man. All right. And the Lord will fill that void, that gap, if you're not suited. As the scriptures say, many are called, but few are chosen. And I implore brothers to really meditate on why some chosen aren't called. Because the chosen come up and do the same thing that the called do. But it's like I said, I wanted to say does, but they come up and do the same thing that the called do. But why aren't they chosen? You know what I'm saying? Many are called, that goes back to the seed, the parable of seed. When you see it, receive it with joy, or you get choked up by the world. Those are the reasons why some of the called aren't chosen, because they'll come up and teach, they'll come up and do the work, but some are lazy, some are uninspired, some are distracted, some are unconfident, and they fall back out into the world, or they just don't produce enough. And if you don't produce enough, like Yahushua did that fig tree, he's gonna get rid of you. That's just very simple and plain. So one thing it is that we're supposed to appreciate where we are, and we supposed to be happy to show the Lord what we have to offer, man. Even a child, when they accomplish something that they're excited about, to show it, no matter how good it looks. My daughter showed me pictures that they good, they're getting better. But then I know Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci pictures, but they're excited for what they do. They love what they do, so they love to show people what they have. Now, you shouldn't expect no reaction. You just give like it says, you are a tree. A tree don't really trip about, its fruit being out and extending its fruit. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You're a man of the Lord, so therefore you have wisdom. You have something to offer. It ain't like you got to force people to listen, that everybody needs your attention, or somebody got to say thank you. This is what you do. We built for this. This is what we're made to do. So it should be nothing. You should be like Barry Sanders when he get in the end zone, hand the ball out to the referee, go about your business. It's just another day in the office. All right. But if you doubt yourself, or you arrogant or whatever, then that manifests drossness, pretty much something that's just not pure. Okay, so with that being said, I want to say call halal to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bahara Kadash, double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well, and also blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity, a sincere Habatham Tukwayam. Shalom.